Imagine moving into your dream home with people you thought were friends, only to have them turn on you and your beloved pets. My roommates despised my cats, mocked me to my face, and tried to cheat me out of my money. But I had the last laugh. In court, stay tuned for a story of betrayal, petty roommates, and sweet, sweet justice. If you've ever been wronged by someone who thought they could walk all over you, this story's for you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive into one of the most satisfying Reddit revenge stories you'll hear today. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. I'm a 23-year-old woman, and last October, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. Let's call me Sarah for this story. I just moved into a beautiful 3-bedroom house with a big backyard, perfect for my 2 cats, Mario and Luigi. The catch? I wasn't living alone. My roommates, Fern and Eric, both 23 and engaged, seemed like the perfect match at first. Fern was an old coworker, always bubbly and kind. Eric, her fiancé, was laid back, cracking jokes over coffee. They had 2 big dogs, a sweet older one and a rambunctious puppy, and we all agreed pets were welcome. No problem, right? The house was gorgeous. Upstairs, Fern and Eric claimed 2 bedrooms, one for sleeping, another for Fern's office, and a third as some kind of getting ready area. I took the bigger downstairs bedroom right off the living room. It felt like a fresh start. My cats, Mario and Luigi, were my world. Mario, the brave one, strutted around like he owned the place, tail high, unbothered by the dogs. Luigi, though, he was my shy boy, sticking to my room, his big green eyes scanning every corner for danger. For the first month, things were okay. The dogs mostly stayed in the living room, and I set up baby gates so my cats could slip through to the kitchen where their cat tree stood. Luigi started to relax, venturing out a little more each day. I'd catch him perched on the cat tree, purring softly, finally feeling safe. I thought we were all figuring it out, but then everything changed. One day, I came home to find Fern storming down the stairs, her face red with fury. "Your cat was in my office." She screamed, pointing a finger at me. I froze my stomach, twisting. Luigi had finally felt brave enough to explore upstairs, and Fern was acting like he'd committed a crime. I took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. "Okay, Fern, let's fix this. I'll buy a gate for the stairs to keep the cats. Downstairs, my treat." It seemed like a fair compromise. But Fern's eyes narrowed. No way. I'd trip over it and break my neck. I blinked, confused. A gate was too dangerous, but her untrained puppy leaving poop piles outside my bedroom door was fine. I tried again. "What if you just close the doors to your rooms upstairs? The cats can't get in if the doors are shut. Simple, right?" Fern scoffed, folding her arms. "That's not possible. It gets too cold upstairs." My jaw dropped. Too cold? In a heated house? I could feel my chest tightening, my heart pounding with frustration. Her solution was to ban my cats from everywhere except my bedroom and the living room where her dogs ruled. The kitchen, where the cat tree was suddenly off limits too. Fern even refused to let me move the cat tree to the living room, claiming it clashed with the vibe. Meanwhile, her dogs were a mess. The puppy wasn't house-trained, leaving puddles and piles everywhere, especially near my door. The older dog was sweet, but would jump on me, muddy paws and all, while Fern and Eric laughed it off. Once, both dogs escaped the front yard off-leash, of course, and came back covered in manure from a nearby greenhouse. The smell lingered for days, but my cats existing upstairs? That was the real crime. I pushed back, my voice shaking. "Fern, I've offered 2 fair solutions, and I'd even pay for the gate. You're being unreasonable." Her response cut like a knife. "If you don't like my rules, get out." I felt my eyes sting with tears. This wasn't the Fern I'd known. Eric, who'd been silent, just shrugged like I was the problem. What, you're gonna cry about it now? Fern sneered. My hands trembled. I wasn't just losing my home, I was losing my trust in people I thought were friends. That night, I lay awake, stroking Luigi's soft fur as he curled up against me. Mario sprawled across my feet, oblivious to the storm brewing. I couldn't shake Fern's words or the way she'd looked at me like I was nothing. Worse, I didn't trust her around my cats anymore. What if she lashed out at them? What if she accidentally let them out? By mid-December, I made up my mind. I packed up my cats and moved them to my parents' house, where I knew they'd be safe. Then I started packing my own things, my heart heavy but my resolve growing. I wasn't going to let Fern and Eric bully me. Getting off the lease wasn't cheap. It cost $300 to amend it, and since Fern and Eric were the ones who wanted me gone, I told them they should cover it. They refused, laughing in my face. Fine, I had a plan. I'll pay the $300, I said, but you owe me the $700 from my security deposit. They agreed, texting me, "Of course, that's your money." That text was my golden ticket. I moved out, taking photos and a video of my spotless room vacuum lines on the carpet, not a speck of dirt. I cleaned it top to bottom. Mid-January, I signed off the lease, expecting my $700. But when the day came, Fern texted me, "You're not getting anything. You left the room a mess." My blood boiled. A mess? I had proof it was pristine. I texted back, "I'll see you in court." They laughed, saying I couldn't afford it and had zero case. Oh, they were wrong. I filed in small claims court, my hands shaking as I filled out the forms. They dodged certified mail, costing me $90. I paid another $90 for process servers to ensure they were served. Every penny felt like a bet on justice. The day of the hearing, I arrived early, my stomach in knots. I'd watched the cases before mine, people yelling, interrupting, acting petty. The magistrate looked unimpressed. I decided then and there, I'd stay calm, stick to the facts, and let the truth speak for itself. Fern and Eric strolled in 2 minutes late, smirking like they'd already won. I took a deep breath and presented my case. I showed the magistrate their text. Of course, that's your money. I explained that by law, they had 30 days to provide an itemized list of damages, which they never did. Then I handed over my photos, crystal clear shots of my spotless room. Fern's face twisted as she saw the evidence. When it was her turn, she sputtered. The room was in disarray. It smelled like cat urine and there were stains everywhere. She pointed to my photos, claiming they showed damage. The magistrate leaned forward, studying the images. My heart pounded. Then he spoke, his voice calm but firm. "All I see here are vacuum lines. No landlord would call this damage." I wanted to scream with joy. Fern's jaw dropped, and Eric shifted uncomfortably. They had nothing at the end. Fern tried one last desperate move, claiming I'd abandoned the house in December. The magistrate shut her down. "She's not claiming she was kicked out," he said. I chimed in, explaining I'd left to protect my cats from their hostility. It didn't even matter, the facts were on my side. The verdict came like a thunderclap. Fern and Eric owed me $700 plus $180 in court fees. I walked out of that courtroom feeling 10 feet tall, their stunned faces burned into my memory, but Fern and Eric weren't done. They appealed, dragging me back to court. I showed up, ready to fight again, only to learn they'd canceled the appeal at the last minute. Cowards. Better yet, they paid me that day $880 in full. Sometimes standing up for yourself feels impossible. But this was proof that justice can win, even when the odds feel stacked against you. Fern and Eric thought they could bully me and my cats out of our home. They were wrong. If this story gave you that sweet rush of karma, smash that like button and drop a comment. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? Subscribe for more Reddit revenge stories that'll keep you glued to your screen. Until next time, stay fierce.